Avenger.
The road to crime ends in a trap that justice sets. Crime does not pay.
The Avenger, sworn enemy of evil, is actually Jim Brandon, a famous biochemist. Through his numerous scientific experiments, Brandon has perfected two inventions to aid him in his crusade against crime as the Avenger: the telepathic indicator by which he is able to pick up thought flashes, and the secret diffusion capsule, which cloaks him in the black light of invisibility. Brandon's assistant, the beautiful Fern Collier, is the only one who shares his secrets and knows that he is the man the underworld fears as the Avenger. And now, the Avenger and the Blue Pearls. Inspector White is addressing a group of detectives at headquarters.
You men have been selected for this emergency detail because we've got to put a stop to these hit-run accidents. During the past few weeks, 8 people in this city have died, and twice as many have been injured because of reckless driving and unnecessary speeding. It's up to you men to ferret out these reckless drivers and get them off the road. I'll see that they're apprehended. We've got to get out and put the brakes on this situation, even if we have to revoke half the licenses in this city. Reckless driving is a crime against public safety.
Jim, is this road a shortcut to the beach?
Why, no, Fern, but it gets us out of that heavy traffic on the main highway.
I'm glad you came this way. Maybe we could enjoy the drive.
Fern, look at that car ahead of us.
Why, it's weaving all over the road. A woman's driving. Maybe there's something wrong with the car.
Well, she must be crazy. She's speeding up.
Jim, she's sure to have an accident. Can't we do something?
We'll try. Hold tight, Fern. I'll catch up with her.
Jim, she's driving off the road. She's going to hit that tree. Oh, Jim, she's crashed.
Come on, Fern. We've got to get her out of there.
The car's bursting into flames, Jim.
Stay back a little, Fern.
Oh, be careful, Jim. The hood's on fire.
Yeah, it's okay. I've got her.
Is she all right?
I don't know. She's unconscious.
Oh, put her down here, Jim.
Oh, she's in pretty bad shape, Fern. Go back to our car and radio headquarters. Tell them to send an ambulance.
Right, Jim.
In the meantime, I'll wrap this coat around her and try to bring her to.
Oh.
There. You're all right now, miss. You're safe.
My pearls. My pearls.
Never mind your pearls, young lady. We've got to worry about getting you to a hospital.
My pearls.
Fern, tell them to hurry that ambulance.
I got the message through, Jim. It'll be here in a few minutes.
That'll be too late, I'm afraid. This woman's dying.
Jim, you must be mistaken. We've been through every scrap of this wreckage, and there's no sign of any pearls here.
I'm not mistaken, Inspector. That girl's dying thought was of her pearls.
They must have been valuable, Inspector. She didn't have them on, so they must have been in the car.
Well, they're not here now, Fern. I'll vouch for that. Jim, as soon as my men finish here, I want you to come down to headquarters and make a full report on this accident.
At least we know this wasn't one of those hit-run affairs, Inspector.
No. This was even more serious than that.
What are you talking about, Jim? I thought you said that this
Yes,
was...
technically it was an accident, Inspector. But it wasn't caused by carelessness. That woman was doped.
Gosh, Jim, this club rendezvous is lovely, but a very disillusioning thought just struck me.
Oh, what's that, Fern?
I think we're here on business, not pleasure.
Sometimes your hunches are uncanny.
Well, let me in on the big secret, Jim. What clues are you tracking down in this expensive manner?
I did a little checking this afternoon, Fern, and discovered that several persons who have figured in automobile accidents lately were known to frequent this club.
Well, here we go again.
So I know the inspector thinks it's impossible for dope peddlers to be operating in the city, but I'm not so sure.
But why don't you let the narcotics squad take care of it, Jim?
Because there's very little to go on so far, Fern. And besides, to get the kind of evidence we need will require the utmost caution.
Well, Mr. Brandon, the dinner is delicious and the atmosphere is elegant. I don't mind proceeding with caution this evening.
I think we'll call it a night, Fern. It's almost closing time.
I had a grand time, Jim. Let's have one more dance before we leave.
All right, Fern.
I wouldn't mind if all our blind trails were as pleasant as this.
I'm afraid there's a little of the butterfly in you, young lady.
Oh, my pearls! I've broken them. Help me pick them up.
Oh, be careful, Jim.
Huh?
There's one right beside your foot.
Waiter! Waiter, help me find my pearls.
Yes, miss. We find them all. Would you be so kind, everyone, to put the pearls you find here on this plate, please?
Oh, I found two, Jim. How many do you have?
3. Don't put them on the plate, Fern.
Why, Jim?
I'll explain later. Just keep them.
I think they're all here now, miss.
Just a moment, I'll count them. There were 40.
Oh, Jim, for heaven's sakes, we'll be arrested as thieves.
I don't think so, Fern.
Are they all there, miss?
Yes, Frederico. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Jim, she didn't even miss ours.
Come back to the table, Fern.
All right. Now, would you mind explaining? I don't get this at all.
Fern, those pearls are absolutely worthless. The whole string could be bought for 10 cents.
Then why did she make such a fuss about getting them back?
Just an act. She didn't really count those pearls on the plate. She just pretended to. That means she broke the pearls on purpose and expected some of them to be missing.
But why should she do that, Jim?
Well, it would be an extremely clever way to deliver a pearl or two that contained dope, wouldn't it? All the customer has to do is pick up the right pearl and put it in his pocket.
But how would he know which pearl it was, Jim?
Well, probably a slightly different color.
Oh, I see. When that particular pearl isn't put back on the plate, she knows it has been delivered to the proper party.
That's it, Fern.
Well, what are we going to do, Jim? Do we follow that girl?
Oh, we can't. She's already gone. We'll check on her later. I want to get a line on her set up here. She must have an accomplice.
That waiter, maybe.
Yes, I think so. She called him by name. Well, I'll soon find out.
Oh, there he is now, Jim.
Yes. Frederico.
Yes, sir.
Frederico, while you're clearing off this table, I want to ask you a few questions.
Yes, sir.
What's the name of the girl who broke her pearls?
Oh, I do not know. A customer...
Frederico. I'm Jim Brandon of the police department. Do you prefer to talk here or at headquarters?
Oh, on what charge?
Aiding and abetting in the traffic of narcotics.
Oh, no. I do nothing like that, honest. I just do what is part of my job. I need the tips.
We'll see. What is that girl's name?
She is Brenda Clegg. She started coming here 2 months ago.
How many times has she broken her pearls here?
4 or 5 times.
And you always help her to get them back?
Yes, I ask people to put them on the plate, and that is all. She tips me well, and I ask no questions.
And she always gets all the pearls back?
Why, yes, of course. She counts them always, and...
How do you explain these 5 pearls I have here in my hand? She didn't get these back.
Why, I don't know. She counted them. She said...
I heard what she said. Now, do You know where Brenda Clegg lives?
No, I know nothing of her, but her name and what I have told you. Maybe the doorman. Do you want me to ask?
Never mind, I'll ask him. Frederico, I don't believe you're mixed up in this, but you're going to have to prove it.
How? How can I prove it?
By keeping quiet about this little talk we've had, and by following any future orders I may give you.
Oh, I'll do whatever you say, Mr. Brandon.
All right. Go about your business as usual.
Yes, sir. I'll get back to my station.
Well, Jim, I have to hand it to you. You've certainly hit on something here.
Fern, we can't take a chance on this, Frederico. Go call Inspector White and tell him to send someone down here to trail him right away.
Yes, Jim.
Hurry, Fern, because we're going to call on Brenda Clegg tonight.
I tell you, Smokey, that's the last time I'm going to deliver the pearls at the club rendezvous. It's not safe.
Shut up, Brenda. You do what I say.
Not anymore. I'm not making enough out of this to take a rap.
Oh, so it's the dough you're griping about. I thought so.
Yes, it's the dough. I take all the chances in this racket, and you and the Countess get the grade.
Shut up. You do what I tell you and take what I pay you. Maybe you forgot. I got enough on you to send you to college for life.
That goes double, Smokey. Why, if I wanted to turn state's evidence and expose this snowstorm you're stirring up here...
Shut up, I said.
Ow!
There's more where that came from if you don't keep your trap shut.
You've hit me for the last time, Smokey. I'm going to see that you get the book. I don't care what they do to me.
You wouldn't dare squeal to the cops.
Wouldn't I? I've had this on my mind for a long time.
Drop that phone, Brenda.
That rod doesn't scare me. You don't have what it takes to pull the trigger. You're yellow, Smokey. Hello? Police headquarters? I want to turn myself in and make a confession.
All right, Brenda. This is for you.
Why, Jim, how did you get here so soon? Who tipped you off to this shooting?
What shooting, Inspector? Fern and I came here looking for Brenda Clegg.
Yes, this is where she lives, isn't it?
Well, you're a little late. Brenda Clegg was shot half an hour ago. 2 bullets in the heart.
Oh, no.
That means it's murder. Any leads, Inspector?
1 or 2. She was on the phone to my office when somebody shot her up. Well, I'll pick up the trail all right.
Well, maybe this information will help you. I find good reason to believe that girl was peddling dope at the club rendezvous tonight.
Yeah?
Listen, Inspector. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone if we handle this right.
What do you mean, Jim?
Keep Brenda Clegg's death a secret for a few days.
Now, Jim,
24 hours then, Inspector. We've got to give this dope ring a chance to keep operating if we want to pull in the whole mob.
Well, I guess you're right at that, Jim. A public murder investigation might drive them undercover for months.
You're a reasonable man, Inspector.
Meantime, I'll put everything in this apartment through the sieve.
Right. I'll check with you first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Come on, Fern. I've got to get you home. I'll have a big job for you to handle tomorrow. Now, Fern, when you get to the club rendezvous, you'll be seated at the table where Brenda sat last night. Frederico will see to that.
Yes, Jim. But I doubt if any of Brenda's gang will show up tonight.
Well, they might, if they don't know Brenda is dead. And I have a feeling that her murderer isn't doing any talking.
Well, let's hope you're right. Now, let me go over this again. Posing as a friend of Brenda's, I'm to try to find out how and where this dope ring operates.
That's right. We found a key in Brenda's apartment that we believe to be a motorboat key. Now, that might mean that the dope is picked up from a ship, or it may merely mean that it's hidden somewhere off the mainland. Try to find that out.
All right, Jim. I'll do my best.
The inspector will have men stationed outside the club, and Frederico will keep an eye on you while you're inside. Now, put on your pearls, and you're ready to go.
now, back to the Avenger and the Blue Pearls.
Young lady, there must be some mistake. His table is reserved.
Yes, I know. I have an appointment to meet Brenda Clegg here.
Oh, I see. Then I suppose we should introduce ourselves. I also have an appointment with Brenda. I am the Countess Calstro.
Oh, how do you do? My name's Fern Collier.
It's a pleasure. I don't believe I've ever seen you with Brenda. Do you know her well?
Oh, yes.
You'll pardon my prudence, Miss Collier, but as a sort of credential, would you mind telling me Brenda's address?
Certainly. It's 105 Hillcrest Boulevard.
Thank you. One cannot be too careful.
Oh, I understand, Countess. Perhaps you would also be interested in knowing that Brenda and I have a mutual fondness for pearls.
I thought so.
And we've taken several trips in her motorboat.
Really? To the island?
Yes.
I am surprised. I was not aware that Brenda had ever taken anyone to Lark Island.
Oh, I wonder what could be keeping Brenda. She's late. I'm getting worried.
You're nervous, Miss Collier.
Yes. Well, I hope Brenda won't let me down.
You came here for a blue pearl, did you not?
Yes. And if Brenda doesn't show up, I don't know what I'll do.
Don't worry, my dear. I can help you.
You can?
Yes. I have some blue pearls of my own I would be willing to sell you for a fair price. But we will wait for another half hour. Brenda may show up by then.
Do you suppose something could have gone wrong, Countess?
I don't think so. However, we will not wait for Brenda any longer. Come with me.
May I ask where we are going? Surely you do not keep such valuables in your apartment?
No, not in my home. I have another place. Come, my dear.
Just a moment. I'll take care of the check. Frederico?
Yes, miss?
Check, please, Frederico. I'll sign it.
Of course. Sign on the bottom line, please.
Yes. There you are. Oh, Frederico.
Yes, miss?
If Brenda Clegg comes in later, tell her I left with Countess Calstro. Good night.
Miss Collier, keep your eye on that black sedan behind us. I think we're being followed.
Oh, surely not, Countess. Why should we be?
I don't know. But in this business, one can never tell. Yes, I'm sure of it now. That car is following us.
What are you going to do?
Now, listen carefully. In a moment, I'll put on speed and turn up Lakemont Avenue. I'll pull up quickly in front of a certain small apartment house there. When we get in the lobby, help me press all the doorbells there. And someone is certain to push the door buzzer to let us in. Got that?
Yes. But whoever is following us will know where we went. Your car will be outside the house.
There's a back door at the end of the hall in that apartment house. We go straight through, come out in the alley in the back, turn left, and run for a taxi on the other side of the block. We can make a clean getaway if we are lucky. Here we are. Hurry. Quick now. Quick. Help me press all these bells.
Yes. What if no one answers?
There, open the door. Did I tell you? Run for the door in the back.
What if it's locked?
It never is. Hurry. You'll see we've given them the slip. Now for a taxi. Come on. Smoky, what in the world are you doing here?
Hiding out, Countess.
Hiding out? What for? Are the cops on to us?
Hold it a minute. Who's your girlfriend, Countess?
A friend of Brenda's. She wants to buy some blue pearls.
That's
yeah?
right.
Smoky, put that gun away. What's the matter with you?
This dame's no friend of Brenda's.
How do you know? She says she's been to the island with Brenda.
That's a lie. Brenda never went to the island except when I took her. This dame's no snowbird. She's a plant.
There's one way to settle it. Why don't you call Brenda and ask her?
Because Brenda can't answer, and you know it. You're from the cops, and you know Brenda's dead.
Brenda's dead. Smoky, what are you saying?
Countess, I killed Brenda last night. I had to. She was going to turn us all in.
You are a fool, Smoky. You have ruined everything.
Shut up, Countess. You haven't made such a good showing tonight yourself.
Well, what are we going to do?
A snowboat is scheduled to pull in at the island early tomorrow morning to deliver a shipment. We just hop aboard and get out of the country.
What about this girl? What will we do with her?
I'll take care of her right now.
No, Smoky, you cannot shoot her here. Use your head.
Well, we could just as easy drop her in a bay on the way to the island.
That's it. Tie her up and gag her.
No, don't.
Take the gun, Countess. Keep her covered while I tie her up nice and tidy.
Hurry, Smoky. We must start for the island right away.
Have you got your motorboat key, Countess? I forgot mine at Brenda's place. That's why I couldn't hit for the island last night.
Yes, I have mine in my purse. And I have a car in the basement garage.
Okay. We're as good as out of the country right now.
Well, Inspector, what do your men report?
Well, nothing new, Jim. We know that Fern and the Countess went straight through that apartment house on Lakemont Avenue. But they left a cold trail after that.
Keep trying, Inspector.
Don't worry, Jim. I will. I have the whole force working on this.
I've just come from the Rendezvous Club, and Federico gave me a lead that I'm going to work on right now.
Can I help you, Jim?
Yes, Inspector. Give me that key you found in Brenda Clegg's apartment. The one we thought might be a motorboat key.
Sure, Jim. I've got that stuff here in the safe. I'll get it. Want some of my men to go with you?
No, Inspector. I'll handle this myself.
Well, be careful now, Jim. Don't do anything crazy. We'll find Fern, all right.
Oh, I should never have let her go to that club, Inspector. This whole thing is my fault.
No, my men bungled this badly, Jim. And I'm willing to admit it. They weren't quite up to the tricks of that Countess.
Well, I asked for 24 hours to wrap up this case, Inspector. I've still got 2 hours to go on that.
Well, here's the key, Jim.
Oh, thanks, Inspector. Stay close to the phone for the next 2 hours, will you? I'm going to try to close this case on schedule.
Well, we made it, Countess.
Yes. Wait a minute, Smoky. What are we going to do about this car?
Huh?
We can't leave it here. The police would spot it before morning.
Say, I never thought of that. This call would sure tip them off to where we went, all right.
Well, start thinking. What can we do with it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll send it over the end of the pier. The water out there is deep enough to cover it.
Good idea.
All right, get out. We'll put this dame in the motorboat first. Come on, sister. This is the end of the line for you.
Here's the boat, Smoky. Hurry up.
This dame's a wildcat. Just kicking like a
Throw her
steer.
down there in the bow.
I'll be glad when we're rid of her.
Now, send that car over quick.
Not so fast, Countess. I'll take the key to the boat if you don't mind.
You do not trust me, Smoky.
No, after the things I've seen you pull. I know you're counting on me pulling out and leaving me here waving on the dock.
Here, then take the key. But hurry.
I'll be right back. I'll get rid of this car in a minute.
Stupid fool. I will think of a way to get rid of you later.
Well, that's that. Now we're ready.
Smoky, what was that noise?
I don't know, but I'm not investigating. Let's get this motor running.
I don't think you'll take that little trip to Lark Island, Smoky.
What? Who said that? Where did that voice come from?
There's no one in the boat. Pull out, quick.
Well, you take this gun, Countess. You see anybody on that dock, don't stop shooting until it's empty.
There's nobody there, Smoky.
I'm here, Countess. And there goes your gun into the water.
What is this?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm the Avenger, Countess.
The Avenger. Take the wheel, Countess. I'll find him.
Yes. Smoky, the voice came from the back of the boat.
I'll throw him overboard. Nobody's going to stop us now.
I'm going to stop you, Smoky. Like this.
Oh! Smoky, get up.
He's out cold, Countess. Now turn the boat around and make for the dock. Unless you prefer to swim back.
No, I will do as you say.
And make it fast. We've got a deadline to meet.
Well, Jim, did that boat pull into Lock Island on schedule this morning?
It certainly did, Fern. And the whole narcotics squad was there to meet it.
I suppose the inspector's having a wonderful time down at headquarters, bringing charges against everybody.
Well, that's right, Fern, and you can't blame him. This is quite a feather in his cap.
How long had that dope ring been operating in this city, Jim?
Only 2 months, Fern. And the inspector's got the whole tribe in jail. That's fast work.
And don't forget Smokey. There's a charge of murder against him.
And don't worry. The Countess isn't letting him forget it. She's talking your head off.
I thought she would.
Well, Fern, since you risked your life to crack this case, I thought you might like to take a look at Exhibit A.
Oh, Jim. A blue pearl.
Yes. Here, look. The shell of the bead is made of wax and tinted blue. Just enough coloring for a discerning eye to distinguish it from an ordinary pearl.
Then this bead was strung on a necklace with other cheap pearls of the same size.
Exactly. Then it could be delivered at a certain time and place merely by breaking the beads.
Brenda Clegg broke her pearls just once too often.
Yes, Brenda was the weak link in this chain of crime.
Jim, what about Federico, the waiter? Will he be prosecuted? You know, I really owe my life to him. If he hadn't delivered my message to you, I'd be at the bottom of the bay now.
All the help he gave us will be considered when his case comes up. And by the way, I want to congratulate you on the way you got that message to me, Fern. Signing Lock Island instead of your name on that check in the club was quick thinking.
Thanks, Jim. Maybe if I stick around long enough, you'll make a real detective out of me.
I don't know whether I'd like that or not, Fern. Real detectives are supposed to have long noses and big ears.
They are? Then you're an imposter, Mr. Brandon. Your ears may be a little big, but you've got an awful pretty nose.
All characters, names, places, and plots used in the Avenger program are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
This is a thought. A thought. A thought. Remember, listen for another adventure of...
The Avenger.